heaviness and a burning inside. It could be heartburn.
Indigestion and heartburn? Eno gets to work in 6 seconds and works on the 6 symptoms of heartburn so you can keep living life non-stop. Eno, fight heartburn and indigestion fast.
Working from home? No problem. Fiber Home has you covered with the fastest and most reliable internet speeds. Get connected today. Kazi lazima iendelee.
Basic protective measures as guided by the World Health Organization. Clean hands frequently with soap and clean water. Cover nose and mouth when coughing and sneezing with a tissue or flexed elbow. Avoid close contact 1 meter or 3 feet with anyone with cold or flu-like symptoms. If you have fever, cough and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early. Avoid raw or uncooked animal products. Help the world put an end to the spread of respiratory diseases by sharing this message with a friend. Message brought to you by Sour Herbal Family Bath Soap.
This is NTV.
Of course, when you see the roses, we appreciate our mothers. Happy Mother's Day, and thank you for joining us on NTV at 1. My name is Dibal Ainer. Right, we want to start off from Mombasa, where our reporter Kevin Mutai is standing by. Yesterday, we received good news from the Italian Prime Minister saying that his country's aid worker, Silvia Romano, who was kidnapped by Al-Shabaab in Lamu in 2018, has been freed. And Kevin Mutai is joining us via phone just to give us an update of what is happening on the ground right now as far as the release of Silvia is concerned. Kevin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dibal. Glad to join the broadcast from Mombasa. And Dibal, just to put straight in the record is that Silvia Romano was abducted in a trading center called Chakama, approximately 67 kilometers away from Malindi, that is in Kilifi County. And right now we have reports that she is in safe custody of the Italian authorities and yet to be evacuated to her home country. This is after 18 months that she's been held captive by people who are believed to be Al-Shabaab militants. Reports that we've also received from our sources who are privy to the ongoing investigations that have been happening. In fact, until that the day that she was rescued, that was yesterday, and confirmed by the Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte, is that Silvia Romani got kidnapped by gunmen believed to have to be associates with Al-Shabaab militants. Then she was later sold to the militants. That was approximately a month after she was kidnapped from Chakama Trading Center. And also we have reports that currently she's in safe custody and she's in good health. But of course, she'll have to undergo further medical examination back in her country. But what we also know is that this morning I also spoke to some of the senior police officers who are part and parcel of the investigations and the operation to try and rescue her. That was that from in November. In fact, the operation was launched and by different government agencies here in the country, including the Kenya Defense Forces, who sealed off the densely populated, densely forest that is in Boni Forest in Lamu County. And of course, also they are saying that they had a lot of challenges in trying to save Silvia Romano. One being that the gunmen were were being helped by the locals in that particular area. And right now we understand that there are 3 people currently in police custody, waiting trial with regards to that particular matter. But so far, what we know is that Sylvia Romano is finally free after almost 18 months in the hands of the Al-Shabaab militants. And of course, also just to put it in record is that according to our sources, is that she was rescued 30 kilometers away from the capital, that is the Somalian capital, Mogadishu. So Dubal, we're still collecting a lot of information with regards to her rescue and her release. But according to the Italian authorities, is that external intelligence forces played a very crucial part in rescuing the volunteer aid worker who had really been helping the residents of Chakama in Kilifi County in terms of advancing their literacy levels and, of course, doing a lot of community work. So we're still gathering a lot of information, but, of course, we'll be able to bring all these later to our viewers in subsequent bulletins.
It's Kevin Mutai, before I let you go, I wonder if you are actually privy to information of what will really happen as far as maybe ransom was paid as well. We know the Kenyan government and the Italian government has been working collaboratively on that. So was there all the demands of the Al-Shabaab met in terms of ransom? Why did they release her at this particular time?
Among one of the things that I raised in my conversation with my sources concerning the ransom, but of course we are being informed, yes, definitely that was subject, something that was on the table, but the details of payment of ransom was kept, a secret between the government of Italy and those people who played a crucial role during her release. So the details of whether the government paid the ransom or, the people they used to deliver whatever they did to rescue her release, and definitely we hope that we'll be able to have all that information before we have a comprehensive story for our viewers. But yes, what I can tell you for a fact is that according to my source from Italy, is that a ransom was paid, but he said that he does not know the amount of money that was being paid, to the militants. But of course, I believe that before the day breaks, definitely we'll have more information concerning that. But again, also, I spoke to some government officials, Dibal, this morning, and I was told that this is an international matter right now that lies within the government. And of course, even some of the detectives that I talked to, they're saying that they're expecting the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or even the Ministry of Interior to give a comprehensive report on whatever happened.
Many thanks indeed, Kevin Mombasa there. And I know this is a happy moment also for the family, providentially happening also on Mother's Day. I can just wonder how also the mom of Sylvia Romano is feeling today. Right, we want to just come back to Nairobi just to get also the current state of play, I should say, of what is happening with the lockdown. And our reporter, Seth Olale, is on the ground also to just give us a snippet of what is happening today. Seth, good to see you.
You are Mother Dibala have said Happy Mother's Day, but of course we are celebrating mothers on this particular day. But as far as what's happening is concerned in matters COVID-19, yes, today is on a Sunday, which means that the National Emergency Response Committee is meeting here at Afia House. Actually, I'm just like 2 meters away from the gate of the Ministry of Health headquarters here in the capital. So we have that weekly important committee meeting. I'm talking about the National Response Committee that also involves, it is actually an interministerial agency bringing together the host, which is the Ministry of Health, talk about the Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Education, and so we expect a comprehensive update from this particular meeting that will now go through the daily briefings later on after this meeting ends. And remember that as it stands, the country so far, we have at least confirmed a total of 649 cases, and this is after 28 more people tested positive for COVID-19 disease. And what we know so far is that there has been an increased number of the tests done within 24 hours. We're talking about right now of 31,041, and just yesterday 1,611 samples in the country were collected and tested, and that one gave now the breakdown of 28 confirmed cases. What we know is that Nairobi and Mombasa continue to, give the highest numbers in terms of COVID-19 cases. Yesterday it was 9 in Mombasa, 10 in here, Nairobi, the capital. And what else were we expecting? Also expecting, Dibal, that what the CAS for Health, that is Rashid Aman, said yesterday, that remember that an additional 241 samples were collected from Mandera and brought here to Nairobi. They are awaiting the results, meaning that the numbers of confirmed cases could actually rise, and of course depending with the outcome of the 241 samples taken from Mandera County. What we know also is that Homa Bay registered its first case after one additional confirmation for COVID was actually confirmed by the Ministry of Health. And so we're waiting for that weekly National Emergency Response Committee briefing here at Afya House. And of course, we'll keep our viewers updated as to the status of the country in regards to matters COVID-19. Dibal.
Indeed, Satolal, and we also will be keeping our eyes peeled to see and hear what also the ministry will be updating us much later in the course of the day. In the meantime, why can't we get appraised on what is happening with the flood situation in the country? Devolution Cabinet Secretary now warns that the ongoing floods caused by heavy rains in various parts of the country could soon be declared a national disaster. The CS, while on an impact assessment mission in Kakamega County, said that the number of those who've lost lives stands at 219. Already, 29 counties have been affected by the floods, causing massive destruction of property and infrastructure in Kakamega County. 5 people have died, with 4,000 others displaced in 5 sub-counties along River Nzoia, starting from Likuyani, Lugari, Navaholo, Matungu and Mumias East sub-counties. Each of these affected families received bags of rice, masks and sanitizers. Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya said the county government will start a cash transfer program as a token to those affected by the floods in order to enable them purchase foodstuff. Displaced families in the region have been camping in makeshift refugee camps situated in different schools.
Ile maafa yameletwa na mafuriko hata yameshinda yale ya corona. Na wakati tunaambia Wakenya wajihadhari na huu ugonjwa wa corona, vile tuko hapa serikali zote mbili. Serikali kuu ukiongozwa na Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta ambaye amenituma hapa, na serikali ya kaunti yenu ya Kakamega ikiongozwa na His Excellency Mheshimiwa Oparanya, kusisitiza ya kwamba tuendelee kujihadhari na mvua hii, sio mvua ya kawaida.
Tutaleta pesa kwa simu ya wale wote ambao wameathirika. Kuanzia Jumatatu, hiyo simu yenu mupeane kwa sub county administrator.
And residents of Nkenkoyok area in Narok East sub-county are living in fear of soon being cut off due to heavy rains in the area. The residents say the rains have resulted in the emergence of pools of water around the Maimahiu Narok Road, leaving concerns that the road might split. According to the locals, the area has been experiencing tremors and formation of deep cracks since the heavy rain started. A fault line from Kikuyane area towards Entashata areas downwards to Mosiro is also believed to have come up and filled up with rainwater. This comes only a few days after the same road was cut at Oekule, that is about 20 kilometers from Nairegei in Kare Junction. They now want the government, specifically geologists, to explore the area and assess their risks.
Ikaja kabidi sasa kuipea fare mwenyewe kakuja hadi huku, na unavyoiona nyuma yangu imetoa lake, so we still even have to name the lake, tujue tunaipea jina gani.
Kuanzia kesho hatujui yale ambayo yatatukia hapa mbele, so tunaomba government yetu pamoja na county government ikiwa inaongozwa na Tonai waje kwa haraka waone, kwa sababu ikikata lami hii hakutakuwa na communication kama jinsi vile ilivyofanya juzi pale Eore kule, na tuyataki hayo.
Garissa farmers along River Tana have suffered severe losses after River Tana burst its banks and flooded farmland twice in less than 6 months. Crops and farm machinery were also swept away by the raging waters. Mohammed Salah with story of how farmers in the county are desperate to save little crop they can.
This is Holwadak Farm in Garissa Township, where over 60 farmers hope to pluck a bountiful harvest of watermelon, tomatoes and sweet melon. But those hopes were dashed when the crops were swept away by the water of Tana River, leaving hundreds of acres of land underwater, causing further distress to farmers who were already reeling from the horror of last year's December floods.
Sisi sasa tuko na sababu ya nini ya maji. Hiyo mafuriko wametuumiza kabisa.
Ile kitu tunabanda kama tunakamua kama gamia imeharibika. Membe ameifia ndani ya maji, hakuna kubeba. Hata limu amekauka kwa sababu ya maji.
Only the mango and lemon trees are standing, and picking fruits from these trees is a desperate situation.
The farmers in Holwadak are swimming through these deep flood waters from River Tana to save the little they can.
Farmers risk their lives to wade through shoulder-high crocodile-infested waters to save their livelihoods.
Juzi mamba moja anataka kubeba sisi alikuwa watu 4, nashukua tu fimbo mnabiga maji, alafu hiyo mamba katoroka bila kuchukua mtu. Hata saa hii iko wasiwasi.
They package their produce in bags and tie it with a rope around their waist to effortlessly pull while it floats on the deep water.
Hatuoni hata watu nakuja kuangalia. Hatuoni hata shida yenu iko wapi? Watu ya shamba iko wapi? Hakuna watu wanasema.
The farmers here are getting discouraged and finding themselves in a difficult situation, which they blame on a spillage of dams upstream.
Maka yote ni namna hii. Maka yote. Maka hii akimalizika maji ndio hii. Maka hii akimalizika maji hiyo. Sasa hatuna hamu ya shamba, hata tunataka kuhama. Afadhali tuende hata tukue refugee.
Serikali azuie hiyo maji, serikali ashike kwa hiyo maji. Ile mvua naleta sisi hatuona bala tangu lini ambao sisi naanza kwa hii shamba.
As thousands of acres of farmland remain submerged in Garissa County, the farmers say they will not be able to plant and grow anything for the next 2 months.
Salah Muhammad, NTV, Garissa.
Residents of Busia County have been urged to come out in large numbers and donate blood, as there is an acute shortage of blood in the county. The officer in charge of Busia County Blood Satellite Center, Rosemary Akuku, says the situation is dire as hundreds of vulnerable patients and residents are at risk of losing their lives. It is alleged that many now fear donating at medical facilities due to the coronavirus pandemic. Due to the shortage, the county has been forced to source for blood from neighboring counties of Kisumu, Bungoma and Uasin Gishu. Pregnant women, accident casualties, sickle cell anemia patients and children under the age of 5 are the ones who are at high risk.
At the moment, the situation is very bad because we only have 10 pints of unscreened blood right now in our fridges, and this blood is for the relatives. This blood is for the relative donors.
And the cessation of movement in and out of the Nairobi metropolitan area has resulted in an untold suffering for some. While the most talked about issue is a lack of or reduced income, separation from family members has left 5 minors in Umoja abandoned to face the tough adult responsibilities. The young ones have failed, or the young age I should say, has failed to buy them empathy from their landlord.
The scattered utensils tell of a family in crisis. The responsibility on the shoulders of these 5 minors is too heavy to carry that keeping an orderly house is the farthest on their minds. On this Mother's Day, they remain uncared for as their mother died late last year and their father travelled to Siaya a few days before the announcement that locked him out of the city. The separation has been tough on the 5 siblings.
So yeye ndo tulikuwa tunamtegemea, lakini hakuwa na option yote juu hakuwa na pesa, na nikilikuja all of a sudden, so hakuna vyange tusaidia. Na since hii kitu ianze na vitu tumekuwa tukimtegemea, saa zingine akikosa kutuma pesa wewe inabidi tunaenda tunakopa. Tukikosa kukopa ile ni kidogo kwa nyumba, tunakula tunashare, kesho tukiamka hivyo ndo tutaanza tu siku.
The roof that previously shielded them from the rain is curiously missing, exposing them to the harsh elements more so at night. According to them, their landlord removed the iron sheets because they had failed to meet rent arrears for the past 3 months.
Hii situation ya nyumba, mwenye nyumba alikuja a week before akasema that alikuwa anataka kutengeneza nyumba yake. So alituambia by Saturday tulikuwa tunafaa tuhame. Na tulikuwa na arrears za rent kutoka February up to date. So today morning abruptly alikuja akabomoa mabati. We had no option. Baba yetu alikuwa kwa nje amefungiwa na hii curfew na hii maneno na hii ugonjwa ya corona.
Wakati wa mvua na baridi kuna vile tunakwanga tu pamoja, tunajifunika blanketi na tunaweza tu kulala.
The eldest has had to take on the responsibility of the family by seeking out odd jobs that help meet their most immediate need.
Saa zingine kama kuna hata hiyo inabidi naenda na sukuma mkokoteni nje tunauzia watu maji, ama kuna mtu mwenye anahama tunaweza msaidia kuhama, kipato 100 ama 50 yako unatumia, unakuja unaleta hapo kwa nyumba. Ile chenye hakuna tunanunua tunakula.
Efforts to plead with the landlord have gone unheard. Though they have tried to borrow money from friends, they have not yet been able to raise enough to finance a move, and so they wait for whatever may befall them. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
Now, police in Kisii have launched investigations into child abduction cases. The recent being that of a 7-month-old baby boy that was caught on CCTV footage. The boy, who was in the company of his mother, was taken by a lady who passed off herself as a good Samaritan, offering help to Sheila Nyaboke just before their journey from Nakuru to Kisii kicked off. Her efforts to search for her missing son have been unsuccessful so far.
Akaniongoja nikitafutia mtoto pampers nikimbadilisha. Kidogo akaniomba mtoto, nikaingia kwa choo mimi pia kujisaidia. Tukatoka na saa kuja kwa gari ndani, tukakaa kwa gari na yeye. Huyo mama akaniambia leta mtoto nikusaidie. Tukukaa hapa ndani kaa tumekaa. Sasa nikamwambia hapana, acha nikae tu na huyu mtoto analia anasumbua. Huyo mama akaniambia kwanza hata juice zimepita hapa. Acha nimbaie hii juice. Kidogo tena akaniambia hizi juice zenye zinatembeshwa si mzuri. Akaniambia acha nibebe huyu mtoto niende huko kwa duka nimbaie juice. Kuangalia kidogo nikapata kama hayuko.
Huyu mwanamke alikuja kwa ofisi kitu saa 8:30 hivi akilia. Akatuambia mtoto wake amepotea. Na sasa from there tukaanza kumsaidia.
Nimepeana ile clip inaonyesha vile walikuja na vile walitoka. Kwa hivyo sasa hii tutaachia serikali iko na mkono mrefu ndio itashughulika nayo mambo mengine.
Well, we want to take a short break right now, but before I do that, we have fresh information coming to hand right now, where a senior procurement officer at the Kenya Ports Authority has been arrested. KPA Finance Manager Patrick Nyweke is to be charged with graft and abuse of office. DPP Nordin Haji has ordered that he be charged with fraudulently paying off over 214 million shillings to a company in which his wife is a manager and the brother a director. We take a short break right now. When we circle back, we continue with more, including sports.
Wajua wanasema food has memory and those who nourish you are never forgotten. Unakumbuka the auntie who made sure you shibat? We jamaa wa nyama, ule anakuwekea nyama poa ya choma. The dere, happy to share your takeaway. Na huyo mama wa chai, ule ana warm your lunch before you ata uliza. Your mama mboga, ule anakuongezea ata nyanya. Ule waiter kusava haraka haraka. na ule mandazi lady, ule anakuwekea ndao moja ya baadaye, na yua bodaboda rider, ule jamaa kufikisha haraka haraka. Now this is the time to let them know they are not forgotten. This is the time to make sure every table in Kenya has food on it. The points on your phone can be food in their home. When you sit with a plate of food today, pledge to stand for someone who has put food before you. Dial *126# to transfer your bonga points now so they can buy food and necessities at any outlet with a Lipa na M-Pesa till.
Safaricom is for you.
Rashes again? Kiss Kids diapers. Kiss Kids, no rashes. Kiss Kids, no rashes. Buy rashes, buy diapers. Choose Kiss Kids.
Sonadol Extra imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli kupambana haraka na maumivu ya kichwa, mwili na hata meno. Sonadol Extra, hakika maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Corona imetume sana.
This thing was abrupt. No one had prepared for it.
As soon as the announcement was made, customers cancelled bookings and we had to refund our customers' monies.
Tulilazimika kufunga biashara.
Our business means people have to meet or people have to come into close contact. So everything just came to a halt. Weddings, events.
Mimi kama DJ personally, like 2 months now, sijakuwa na job.
Kila mtu anakuambia ile kidogo ako nayo, atanunua chakula ama atanunua nguo.
Let's head over now to Taita Taveta. Welcome back. Then we know the growing number of people infected with COVID-19 in Kenya has effectively affected the normal running of businesses across the country, leaving many without jobs and highly dependent on food donations from well-wishers. However, distribution of donated food in Taita Taveta County seems to be leaving a huge chunk of the elderly population out, as Bilotieno now reports.
Like many other places across the country, COVID-19 crisis is also a hunger crisis, and for that reason, counties like Taita Taveta have designated areas to serve as food banks. As the distribution of food continues, a section of senior citizens, especially those living in informal settlements, say the county seems to have forgotten them.
Well, this is one of the areas with people living below $1 a day, majority of them being the elderly. Despite the donation of food by the well-wishers through the government to the most vulnerable communities, the residents here say they haven't yet received any food.
Some of the elderly living here are unable to move, communicate, nor see, so they really depend on those close to them. Meet 70 years old Peter Maganga, a resident of Mwakingali in Voi.
Hali imekuwa ngumu kwa corona, naiombea Mungu aipitishe. Chakula, nina shida na chakula kwa sababu kupata kwangu ni ngumu. Sitoki nikaenda mahali, nikitaka kama nikipata tu hela nikitaka kitu dukani ni mpaka nitume.
Sasa sijazipata mimi. Na nilipeleka picha tangu ni mzima. Hata juzi nauliza nasikia zatoka hapo zinapotoka. Nasema mtoto nenda kanitazame jina langu. Baba huyu namwambia ndiye mkanitazame jina. Sijaona tofauti yote.
We also visited another lady who's very old. She's not getting even the money that's meant to take care of old people. And she's always hoping that one day she's going to get the same money. Whereas on the other side, she's taking care of her children, her grandchildren, and she could not actually be able to make ends meet. So she's actually dependent on well-wishers.
Few kilometers from her is another old woman. She cannot talk, but she expressed her joy seeing us visiting. These are among many senior citizens across the country who need support in this difficult time.
The segment of people we are focused on this time round during this pandemic is the golden ages, as you call them. That's a nice name. And simply because, most of the people in that age are dependent already, even outside the times of the crisis. These are people who depend on their children who are working as casual laborers or something. There is a good program, of course, for the aged in Kenya where they get a stipend, but unfortunately, it's not all of them who get it. It's not everybody who was captured. Because most of them live under $1. They don't even have a mobile phone, even a mulika mwizi. So we had to find a means of getting the help to them without having to transfer the money to somebody else, and then it reaches them.
Together with her husband, Rachel donates food to the elderly all the way from Norway where she lives through vouchers, meaning that the beneficiary will have freedom of getting whatever they need directly from the nearest shops or groceries.
So the best way was to strike a deal with the kiosks near where they live, and the kiosks serve them. We are happy. We are so privileged as Kenyans because we have M-Pesa. When money is involved, that is where the biggest problem comes in. So they just need to distribute the vouchers, and I just need to pay for the vouchers at a kiosk through M-Pesa. And the people just go and take the things.
These are among many senior citizens across the country who need support in this difficult time. Food banks in Voi, where people can pick up donated items, are struggling to keep up, and the county resource mobilization team has warned of food crisis in the coming weeks. Bilotino, NTV, Taita Taveta.
Many thanks indeed, Bill. Let's buckle down to some sports, and Ida Waringa, she's standing by. Ida, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Deval, and a very good afternoon to you. Hoping that your weekend is coming along well. In an ordinary sports calendar, we would know the winner of the London Marathon by now, but 2020 has been anything but ordinary. The event, originally scheduled to take place on 26th April, was pushed to 4th October due to the coronavirus. It had been billed as the ultimate battle between defending champion Eliud Kipchoge and Ethiopia's Kenenisa Bekele. The race that will presumably see Kenya's Bridget Kosgei also attempt a title defense might feature elite athletes only.
Okay, the postponement of London Marathon to October was really stressful, and actually it actually destroyed most of the plans. But all in all is that my priority number one now, and the priority for all the human family in the whole world is safety. I would like actually to urge all the athletes to maintain training, keep social distancing, train in isolation, make sure that you train, wake up in the morning, go for training.
Fantastic. Definitely looking forward to that. Well, the 18-team format of the current Kenyan Premier League has always been a contentious issue, with some accusing the KPL of being bloated and consequently compromising on the league's quality. A recent decision by the Football Kenya Federation promoted Nairobi City Stars to the top tier, and the proclaimed National Super League champions have their say.
The more the teams you have, the better the competition. Ever since the KPL was 16 teams, it is only twice, Gor Mahia very recently, and Sofapaka sometimes back, I think in 2011, that made it very close to the group stages of the continental football. When we had 18 teams and above, our teams excelled continentally, because when you play more games, you get more groomed and more prepared for continental scene.
Crossing borders now in German league football, which is set to be the first European league to restart following the coronavirus shutdown, hasn't even resumed, and already some teams have pulled out of the initial fixtures. Dynamo Dresden, who play in the second tier of German football, won't be able to fulfill commencing matches after 2 players tested positive for coronavirus. Consequently, the entire squad and coaching staff have been put into 2-week isolation. On Thursday, the German Football Association said that the season would resume, but under strict health protocols that ban fans from the stadium and require players to have regular COVID-19 testing. Dresden were due to resume the season on 17th May versus Hannover 96. Well, this weekend marks 7 years since Sir Alex Ferguson retired as Manchester United manager. He won 38 trophies in his 26 years at Old Trafford, amongst them 13 Premier League titles, 5 FA Cups and 2 UEFA Champions League titles. Manchester United, which were arguably one of the best clubs in the world during Ferguson's reign, haven't won a league title since his 2013 departure. Interestingly, former Red Devils midfielder Paul Scholes had retired this season after United lost the 2009 Champions League, but came out of retirement 8 months later for Ferguson, won another Premier League title under the squad, and retired on the same day as Fergie. Can definitely be the basis of a lot of banter there, Dibal. The fact that the Red Devils haven't really done much since Ferguson left, but oh well, squeaky bum time it was.
It seems maybe he had also the prime solution for the club. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, definitely he did. And it will be a back and forth until, someone comes that can leave a lasting impression.
Indeed, indeed. Ida, before I let you go, I got me some flowers. Guess what? It's Mother's Day today.
Wow. Fantastic.
So I want to give you a handy opportunity to wish your ma'am happy Mother's Day.
Not just my mom, I want to wish, her a happy Mother's Day, and all mothers, not just in Kenya, everyone watching and across the world. It's a beautiful day to celebrate strong women.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Mama, I love you. Mama, I care. Mama, I love you. Mama, my friend. I wish you all the moms in the country who have sacrificially and providentially provided for us a happy Mother's Day. Have a good one.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
This is NTV. I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice. Working from home? No problem. Fiber Home has you covered with the fastest and most reliable internet speeds. Get connected today. Kazi lazima iendelee.
With DSTV Now, you open up a world of possibility where your entertainment is ready for you anytime and anywhere. To get connected, ask your parents to go to the App Store, hit download and log in.
Incredible, incredible.
And while they're there, with DSTV's parental control feature, setting you up for the most fun and safest viewing around is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Amazing entertainment and learning, anywhere with DSTV.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Hello and welcome to the weekend edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Kama kawaida, we have a great show lined up for you. Lakini kileo mtanisamehea because we had planned for a whole new show, but then I heard this stuff that you really need to see, manze. Still on content that we have done on the show, but you haven't seen yet. Kumbe tuko na stuff from the past that are perfect answers to present day questions. Now, for example, the president recently announced that the government was setting aside 100 million shillings for entertainers. Ilileta noma sana juu wasanii wanaekewa pesa kando during these tough COVID times. Now, there have been a lot of questions about how the artists will share the money, especially after what happened with the MCSK. In fact, when the MCSK actually dared to send Calligraph Jones 2,500 shillings. In which case, question moja ilikuwa, what would Steve Simple Boy be entitled to? Kumbe, on his first appearance on this show, our favorite man of God, Mr. T, shed some light on what exactly happens to money that is meant for artists in Kenya.
Sasa, as a musician,
yeah.
Do yako ya MCSK imekama?
Badezi kulipwa. Nala sijui mbona sikulipwa. Lakini number one, mimi nitasema hivi. Kuna kitu
uko registered.
Niko registered, ngona mpaka namba.
Msupaeza alipata
Msupaeza alilipwa.
Alipata kakiru. Alipata kakiru.
But hii ndio noma iko. Na by the way ni kitu tunafaa ku correct kwa talent za Kenya generally. Whether uko church ama uko church. Number one, lazima tu invest hapa. Capacity. MCSK ilifunguliwa na maloya. Prisk na camp ilifunguliwa na maloya. So ase wameform a legal entity enye nafaa ku collect mziki on behalf of artists. Ma-artist wengi hatujui legal interpretation. Kulingana ukienda kwa Society Act of Kenya, when you open a society, church ziko kwa society. Mimi nimefungua society ya mentorship. Kwa hiyo society uko na 2 years enye unafaa kuiform before uanze kusubmit audited reports. But in those 2 years, ile do inakuja.
2 years ni grace period ya kukula kwanza.
Ile do inakuja. Ile do inakuja, gavaija kuobligate audit, but nafaa kufile returns. Now, in those 2 years, ukistudy MCSK na Prisk, those 2 years ndio ilikuwa time ya kurecover. After 2 years, walikuwa wamenunua system za kuokota do. But wakununua system ya kudistribute do. So nikukwambia priority yao ilikuwa tupate do. Juu saizi wanasema, ukienda Prisk wanasema tuna need a system of 10 million ndio ya kudistribute do. Unajiuliza, why were you opening a system ya kucollect do na mna system ya kudistribute do? So that tells me it's all awkward. Then hiyo society unaandikanga constitution. Wasanii hawaku contribute kwa hiyo constitution. Hizo bylaws. Walikuja wakapata kitu ina run wakaitwa. So, asi hata mkienda kotini, watatu wa constitution waseme, according to the constitution, 60% of the money needs to go to administrative cost. So, na hizo administrative cost. So, hizi zote
jiwa zote zinaenda kwa kulipa wase wanafanya kazi kwa ofisi ya MCSK.
So, walisema waliokota 100 million, 60 million ikaenda kwa administration. Na hizo administration, sasa wale magadhesi select kama leader. Awase select kama leaders. Pia unajua kuna hizo meetings, mnaitwa board meetings, mnapewa sitting allowance, and it is there in the constitution. Mkimit mnapewa do. So mna create unnecessary emergencies. Mnasikia kuna emergency meeting Mombasa, mnalipiwa flight, mnaenda mnakaa chini, mnakula do ya wasanii. So it is time wasanii kwanza waanze kujua legal implication and what MCSK is, registered and Prisk and camp, registered under the Society Act. End of study constitution, ujulize what does it say to be in a society. Because at the end of the day, wakati maloya walimaliza kukula, walipatia wasanii kitu hawajui vile watarana.
Sasa surely wasanii wataenda kusoma sijui legal implications na hizo document na hata comments hawasomangi. Surely.
Na ndo sasa utakuta those zetu zitakuliwa juu watu wana run industry, si musicians, ni intellects. Na tulidanganywa, all you need is a talent, you don't need your head. And that's the biggest problem. Ukiingia majuu utakuta wasewa na come up na proposal. Wacha nipe example ya Akon. Akon alikuja kumit prezo. Akona project ya $2 billion ya kusola Africa. Now that's a brain behind talent. Most of our artists, we are talented. Ni swag na kutesa. But hata kubonga na lay facts na argue out. Na ukikakaa wewe ni mjanja, buda una separate yango ka plague. Ndio usilete ujanja kwa hawa wase wengine. So this is the rule. Endo uangalia watu wote wana run Kenyan industry. There is no artist. Ni maloya, ma DJ na ma intellects.
So ma DJ ni ma intellect.
Ma DJs, unajua DJ ndo determine itachezwa. Hata artist atoe hit, ma DJ wakae kikao waseme ichezwe.
Oh, DJs your intellect ni cartels. Kuna difference.
Industry ya Kenya na run na ma DJ na sasa hizi farms zingine. Juu DJs ndo cheza muziki, which is not the right way. Industry inafaa kuraniwa. Imagine umeenda studio umetoa product, umelipa studio, maybe your product ni worth 100,000, unapatia msee anakwambia nitaichukua na 20k. Na una say kwa sababu kwa market radar hauonekani, hawezi bonga. So ni time wasanii wakashikana na wasanii wamejaribu. Na any time wanaendanga kushikana, ule anainukanga kama kiongozi ana absorb yango kwa hizo societies. Una absorb kama chairman. Unaambia buda acha kelele. Dozi ziko hapa. So hakuna siku utaitetea wasanii. Hata mimi vile nabonga hapa na naweza pigia Kasimu niambie buda ulipiga kelele sana. Pesa yako ukupata. Si ndio hii pesa imekuwa hapo hujai claim. Hivyo ndio watu waambiwa. Na unapewa check fiti sana. Alafu naambia sasa rudi kwa Kengori useme ulilipwa ni ukuitisha do.
Ouch.
And you know that's evil. Evil ndio kwa.
So before we let you go, umekuwa actor pia. Na kwa acting uliniambia story funny interesting actually. I found it interesting. That Wakenya hawajui kuseparate kitu iko kwa TV na real life. Mse walikuwa na act na yeye alikutoa kwa bar na yeye act ka pastor. Kuna madhe karibu amuwashe viboko sana hapo. Juu huwezi kuwa na life yako.
Nafikiria tunafaa kuseparate character from the person on the screen. Na nini? Kuna time nilikuwa napiga mistari jokes.
Yes.
Na unaenda kupreach, wasi wanangoja joke. Na una preach. Unawasoma kazi zile za buda achilia joke.
Najua hiyo pressure.
So maga nikaanza kujiambia lazima ni choose one lane na niamue ndio of course once in a while utakutaka mstari kama yanguka ukipreach na nini but sasa ikabidi nichague. Nafikiria bado Kenya hatujafika hiyo part ya kusema hii ni acting na hii ni real life. Ala kuna boy ali acting kwa Sugar na act na Lupita Nyong'o na alikuwa chuo fulani ya Wakristo na act kama Chalia Lupita na kulikuwa na mamunju nini na hivyo ndio alitolewa CU akatolewa kila place juu sasa walimwambia ni aje boss hii kitu ni unaccepted. Na sisemi ni right but nasema hatujafika kwa hiyo maturity ya kuanza kuembrace. That's what utakuta hata hizi vlogs zinakuja za reality TV bado kuna watu wana feel man muna expose too much about your lives unajua na the reason why watu wanapiga traffic wanataka kuona vile mnaji expose. So wanasikia kuna Kengori live wacha tuone wewe. So kwa akili zetu zinakuanga wacha tuone wajinga ni wameamua kufanya. So generally I'm cool likes that's why kukiwa na noma endo angalia comments. Hapo ndo unajuanga the real expression of people. Sikianga vile mnajifanyanga hapa. Vile mnatupiganga vlog. So nafikiria hata wase wakihandle wako too sensitive. Wako too sensitive.
Now hapo kwa mambo ya akili in relation to artists and the general public, one of the guests that I have received most inquiries about is IT guru Dr. Bright Gameli. When it comes to deciding what we leave behind due to time limitations before the final show airs, this was one of the bits of information shared on this show that iliniuma sana hatukuweka. I hope it's not too late to show you this, but here's how you can actually protect yourself from losing any of your social media accounts to hackers.
Laws are getting more stringent, the more they're getting to be realized. The awareness is coming out, and as we're doing right now, I believe all the viewers can actually attest the fact that they're getting more aware. They don't know some of this can happen to them, and the issue is usually to do with us. We, the human beings, are the ones who are getting compromised. We are too gullible to actually give out all the information that we need. So you need to be very careful what links you click on, what kind of files you download, and some things that are too good to be true. You see, in the likes of social media these days, people are saying, oh, you know what, I want to get verified. I want to get a blue tick, you know? Yeah. And for that verification, somebody sends an email to you. Trust me, it looks very legitimate. You can't tell the difference.
Okay.
And is more than 90% of organizations in Kenya, I can fake an email from you to anybody.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to do it right now. But the thing is, we want to make sure that people are aware. So somebody will send an email to you looking very legitimate and say, hey, we're from Instagram, we're trying to verify your account. So if you don't mind, click on this link and fill in the details. The details you're filling in, you're getting so excited for the fact that you're going to get verified as an Instagram slay queen model, or whatever it is. So when you're filling in those details, there's a part for password. You don't think too much about it, you enter the password. The moment you click on send, it redirects you to Facebook, to Instagram.com, and you actually have just given out your account, and people will start now extorting money from you. So you see, that is what you call a phishing attack. P-H-I-S-H-I-N, not phishing like. I know you like fish.
So that's how people lose their account.
That's why people lose their account. Also, people lose their accounts because of very simple passwords. So very simple passwords is easy to guess because they keep on using that. If you look at the hashtags of a lot of celebrities online,
yes,
the hashtag is their password.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the hashtag, I'm not giving ideas to the public.
People are trying right now.
I know. But the hashtag and a number or something like that is usually their passwords. Some even put their names because it's very simple. That's why there's a user phrase. Use a phrase that it's not easy for anybody to remember or to know. And that makes it more difficult. Then have two-step verification for your base email that is connected to all the social media accounts. Funny thing is, even the social media accounts have two-step verification.
Yes, and
which
what
nobody activates.
What about something, before I let you go, online payments?
Yes.
Payment using your Visa card. How do you ensure that you're safe?
So Visa card, MasterCard, and the likes, they're safe, yes, but the thing is you can't trust every website to put all those details. I personally use PayPal. So if the PayPal, and these days you can actually send money from M-Pesa to your PayPal account.
Yeah.
So you don't link that to your card, right? In that case, your PayPal account can be used for payments, for international payments. And these days, even on Google Play Store, you can actually buy applications using M-Pesa.
So
M-Pesa is the safe one. So use M-Pesa for you to be able to log into those payment details and send it there. So if you just Google M-Pesa to PayPal, it will give you all the details right there. It's not rocket science.
The cards are not...
cards to your such online payment is very risky because you're leaving out too much information on the internet. So even if you want to do things like, don't leave your card details online. Wireless networks, if you're on a Wi-Fi, I usually hotspot with my phone and now use that to do my internet transactions.
You don't join
I don't just join any
networks.
Wi-Fi because if I'm on the same Wi-Fi as you, I can see everything you're doing. I can even force you to actually do whatever I want you to do.
If we are just by being on the same Wi-Fi network.
Yes, and I have a few devices. If I'm within about 100-meter radius, I can force everybody's Wi-Fi to come to me. So I'll replicate the Wi-Fi. Okay. You'll be forced to connect to the fake Wi-Fi, and again, I can let you do whatever I want you to do.
There's also something we mentioned when we were starting, ethical hacking.
Yes.
This is where a hacker comes and proves that they can steal from you.
Yes.
So that you can give them a job.
Yes.
That does not work locally.
Oh, it does.
It does.
It does work. That because you don't enter such engagement without a contract. And there's a contract, an NDA has been signed, and then there's an authorization letter. So
they're not freelance ethical hackers.
They're actually, funny thing is they actually are freelance hackers. But the thing is, even if you accidentally find data about people, you don't go to the company and start bluffing to them that, oh, look, I've hacked you. Yes. Because the law can actually go against you. Okay. That's why, personally, I've entered such situations. What I do is, first of all, ask for an NDA, and I tell you this is a responsible disclosure. If you allow me to do the responsible disclosure, then we can now sign a document against that. If you don't want to, I walk away.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, how is that different from waiting on someone in a corridor and coming out with a gun and tell them, I could have taken the money from you, but now you give it to me? What's the difference?
Yeah, I have actually seen, I've gone to a court case to protect somebody against that before, because the person said, look, I've tried to show you that it's possible for me to actually take your money, but you did not listen to me. Now your money is lost, you think I'm the one who did it. You know, so this person, this freelance hacker, did a responsible disclosure, but the wrong way.
Well, I hope that Atakama CSI, the information you've just seen will come through for you in some way in the near future. That said, we still have more for you. When we come back after the break, find out who really started the fight when our leaders clobbered each other in parliament. I'm talking about the wrestling match that was captured on live TV, leaving former Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama in a partial birthday suit. See you guys in a bit.
She's not here.
It's my fault. It's all my fault. You died because of me, and now Mom and Dad are separating because of me.
You have to hold on.
Hold on to what?
Hope.
heaviness and a burning inside. It could be heartburn.
Indigestion and heartburn? Eno gets to work in 6 seconds and works on the 6 symptoms of heartburn so you can keep living life non-stop. Eno, fight heartburn and indigestion fast.
Welcome back to the Wicked Edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Talk to me on Facebook on Dr. Kingori. That's Dr. Kingori. Dr_Kingori on Twitter and Instagram. Hashtag Getuni, the Wicked Edition. Hashtag the Wicked Edition. Now, every time we have hosted a member of parliament or a senator or a political leader on the show, I have always unsuccessfully avoided asking about what happened in parliament on the day it went down. Now, one of the highlights, my personal highlights, has to be Suba MP Honorable John Baddy's account. You guys were in different camps. Of course, there are people in Jubilee who have, you've joined hands, you're working together.
Yes.
The so-called Kieleweke.
Yes.
And so have you forgiven each other?
No, but politics, Kingori, politics is about leaving camps and shifting camps. Ruto was with us in ODM. So did he forgive each other with Uhuru Kenyatta, who was not in ODM? And now why should we forgive each other for what? This is all politics. It's like you are saying, let me just give you an example. It is like you are saying a Gor Mahia player has shifted and is now playing for AFC Leopard. Now you want him to apologize for all the people he kicked when he was playing for Gor Mahia when they had a match against AFC.
Where were you when that happened?
It doesn't make sense.
Where were you when that happened?
Where?
Parliament.
Where? When?
You don't remember?
When what happened?
When war broke. I don't think...
Oh, you are talking about 18th?
You remember the date? Kuna kitu mtu alikufanyia hiyo siku. 18th, yes, when
18th December 2014?
Yes.
Oh, what about it? I remember I was in parliament, yes.
Haukupatwa wewe na mtu?
First of all, you remember I was the one who first tore the papers, isn't it?
Oh, yes, so you started it.
Yes, I started it. Now I know that is where you are heading to. I started it. Let me tell you, you see that day I had to do what I did. And by the way, I have no apologies to make. First,
yes.
You see, we were faced with a very unique situation in parliament where the speaker at that time, my friend Muturi, just refused to give us opportunity to express ourselves. You know, the rules of democracy is that the majority will have their way, but the minority should have their say. Now, when you are denied your say, we got so frustrated, and we discussed that how would we stop because you see, the speaker had insisted going on with the committee of the whole house. The chairman Kamama was there reading the amendments, and we were progressing and we were shouting, no one is listening to us. So we sat somewhere and compared notes, and we decided that the best thing to stop this process is to take the papers that Kamama had, yes, where he was reading all those amendments from. Yes. And I felt, you know, as the leader, I was chairman of ODMs even then. Yes. I said if I start consulting who should go and pick those papers, the intelligence will go out and we will be stopped before we do it. So I decided to give the job to myself. So I walked before they got to know what I wanted to do. I picked the papers, stored them, and by the way, for a moment, it stalled the process. They had to start again in the afternoon.
Printing.
But what happened, the worst that happened, you people are not aware of. The worst happened at the gallery. Where now some of us had to push.
Mudama.
Yes, the Mudama was almost being thrown down, and I think if Mudama was thrown down, either he would be dead today or he would be completely disabled.
That's after they tore his trousers.
Yes, there was also Rengo, and then there was also Senator Wetangula. Some of us had to run. We had to simply, and you know, the parliamentary staff unfortunately took sides, and they were locking us out, and these people were being beaten badly. So I had to kick the door open, get there, and use my fists now to free these people.
What makofi ya Captain America?
And by the way, we were with Simbarati. The only thing that the mistake that Simbarati did was that he was boxing people with open arms.
Oh, that's where Honorable Kimani Ngojiri. That's where Honorable Kimani Ngojiri ate him.
And then others also came up, like Otuoma, I remember, and we managed to overwhelm them, and so it brought some sanity momentarily.
So after all that, you guys are now friends?
After all that, by the way, we didn't say we were not fighting as enemies, but the circumstances forced us to fight. Actually, it was a very ugly scene, but what could we have done? We had to go and free our colleagues.
But now after you talk, you have fun about...
We talk, in fact, Governor Mudomi Njuki, is he for the governor for Tharaka?
Yes.
He has not forgotten. He keeps on reminding me that I really hit him and his head so badly that for some weeks he was feeling the pain. I hope now he has fully recovered. But
hiyo story ya Simba Arati is very legit. We actually had Bahati MP Honorable Kimani Ngonjiri hapa on the show na aliadmit alikula Simba Arati.
Na kuna mwingine akasema nilimuuma kidole. Anaitwa Simba Arati. Si unajua?
Mbona sikuwa nakumbuka hiyo?
Lakini nikuulize wewe hata saa hii. Kidole kikuja kwa mdomo ilikuwa inaenda wapi?
So uliuma?
No, sikuyuma. In fact, ilikuwa nakuja kunitoboa macho. Then I changed the position. Nikaingia mdomo.
At least
sasa kingia mdomo, unajua hiyo kesi ni ya mdomo na kidole. It was not me. I was not part of that.
Lakini at least unajua vile Simba Arati ana taste. Now kila mheshimiwa anakuanga na version yake ya vile waliheshimiana hiyo siku. The award for the most vivid description of course goes to Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Yeye alitunaretia story yake kama insha.
They were stopping us from reaching the speaker who was somewhere like you.
Yes.
So when we were coming from there, Jubilee, they were more than us, so they were all full here. Yes. So none of us could reach. So mimi nikasema, because I can't confront them, you know, if you went from front, walinitwanga kabisa. Moses Kuria alinitwanga hapa seriously. Alinigonga hapa thoroughly.
Ona hawa wana celebrate ngumi.
Imagine, that is how alinigonga hapa. But I say that kama amenigonga, I must still reach the speaker.
I know you now have an idea of the leaders who can actually put salvation aside and fight for your rights. Now, as much as we also have fun on the show, our guests have always had very important points to take home. Just the way a good movie is. Balance of action and a good story. On the episode we featured Honorable Mbadi. I like this bit about how he ended up doing accounting as a course in campus. Usimuone tu hivyo. He's a brilliant mind. Just that pale parliament saa zingine situations zinafanya mtu aweke vitabu kando. Na hiyo kichwa ngumu yote, why did you settle on accounting in the first place?
Really, you know, I'm a maths person, that is number one. Then when I was in high school, my principal then, called Ms. Onyango, insisted, he was teaching us economics, and I was the best economic student in the whole district, then the entire South Nyanza, which is now the present day Migori and Homa Bay. I was the best economic student. And so he insisted that I have to do BCom. I actually didn't even know what is in BCom. So I wanted to do, first the choices of doing engineering and law. You know, I was a very unique kind of student. I was good in arts and I was very good in sciences.
Yes.
Now, he insisted that my first choice has to be BCom. And I took BCom. And he told me, if you don't pick BCom, you will not jaza hizi forms.
Yes.
And you know that time, kujaza form ilikuwa tu mara moja. Si kama siku hizi, mnapita kwanza ndiye mnachagua ni course gani. That time you choose the course before you even sit for exams. So I chose BCom. I came to Lower Kabete. And now I was trying to look which profession would be ideal for a maths student. Actually, I almost changed to engineering, and Professor Morania, who was the head of accounting, told me, no, just stick around and do accounting. That's how I found myself into accounting.
Na sasa, if you have your flexibility ya kusomea hizo vitu zote, simugawie magavana wengine at least for And for those who may have missed Mheshimiwa's point, the best student in economics, Nyanza province. Best in economics.
Nyanza,
yes.
That is Migori and Homa Bay now combined.
Yes. Best in economics could also mean, in layman's language, the stingiest. Professionally. So, Mheshimiwa, we always ask the question of, after before we get to ghost workers, solving corruption, but we don't think the solution is coming.
Yes.
So as Kenyans, let me ask, representing wale watu wako home, when is our turn to eat, sisi? Mnamaliza lini?
Well, Well, I think that is maybe a valid question in quotes, in the context that Kenyans feel we have two Kenyans here. We have those who are eating and those who are not eating. But I don't think it's something to admire. I don't think it is it's appropriate for us to ask when is our turn to eat. I think we should ask when is the turn for all of us to eat. And that is the missing link. And I've heard of...
so our turn is coming. Our turn is coming.
Definitely. You know, one thing that I was taught in Saturday school, I don't go to Sunday school, is that there must be hope. So we always have to continue hoping. You know, that hope keeps you going, even when you are dying. The hope that you will soon get relief food keeps you going. The hope that we will reach Canaan keeps us very strong. That one time we will reach Canaan. So the hope is there. But I think we must work towards it.
Well, that's all the time we had for tonight. Even though we still have more in store, from next week itabidi tuchangamke na fresh episodes, pia tusipitwe na wakati sana mazi. Also, remember to tune in to 96.3 Nation FM for the morning fix with myself and Kate Reader every weekday from 7 a.m. to 11. Otherwise, for the weekend edition, see you next week, same time, same place. Asanteni sana for always tuning in.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because her tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate.
Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities
For maximum cavity protection.
and now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh breath. Only 15 shillings.
Basic protective measures as guided by the World Health Organization. Clean hands frequently with soap and clean water. Cover nose and mouth when coughing and sneezing with a tissue or flexed elbow. Avoid close contact 1 meter or 3 feet with anyone with cold or flu-like symptoms. If you have fever, cough and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early. Avoid raw or uncooked animal products. Help the world put an end to the spread of respiratory diseases by sharing this message with a friend. Message brought to you by Sour Herbal Family Bath Soap.
Corona imetume sana.
This thing was abrupt. No one had prepared for it.
As soon as the announcement was made, customers cancelled bookings and we had to refund our customers' monies.
Tulilazimika kufunga biashara.
Our business means people have to meet or people have to come into close contact. So everything just came to a halt. Weddings, events.
Mimi kama DJ personally, like 2 months now, sijakuwa na job.
Kila mtu anakuambia ile kidogo ako nayo, atanunua chakula ama atanunua nguo.
Do your gums hurt?
Yeah.
Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile?
All that in one toothpaste?
Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums.
Ah, Colgate Herbal.
Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
The woman who stole his love from me, the one who took the man of my life from me, Grandma, is my very own sister. I'm returning your husband to you completely. I love him more than my own life, and that is why precisely what I want most is for him to be happy.
You never wanted my granddaughter in your son's life. If you accepted their relationship, it was only because I threatened you.
Neither your excessive makeup nor your provocative clothes help you to be special.
I said you're still the same woman without a heart and soul, without scruples.
I'm not going to let you insult me.
I'm not actually insulting you. I'm just accurately describing you.
The 3 sides of Anna.
This is the time to make sure every table in Kenya has food on it.
Dial *126# to transfer your bonga points now so they can buy food and necessities at any outlet with a Lipa na M-Pesa till.
Safaricom is for you.
Did you know that a sore throat can actually cause you a heart condition?
Moment you try to do something, the heart, because of the infection, struggles.
Huyu mtoto wangu akona miaka 12 na sijawahi ona cardiologist yoyote.
That is not acceptable. So we need to train more of our health workers. How many cardiologists do you know are in Kenya?
Very few.
We only have 40 with a population of 47. So it's like one cardiologist to a million Kenyans.
Rheumatic heart disease. That is our topic, even as we meet somebody who is living with it.
Behaving normal under these circumstances is having a death wish.
Your world has changed.
Isolation, quarantine, and lockdowns are the new order of the day.
The new order brings work at home and homework online.
Many nations are grappling under stressed health systems,
and many people are struggling with their health and well-being during this pandemic.
We focus on health issues affecting Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and the rest of the East African region.
That's why we'd like you to join us on NTV every morning
as we break down these issues
and update you on your world.
Your world.
Your world.
Your world.
Your new normal.
This is NTV.
Mother's Day Special in association with ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
There's nothing